So I had a request for black green, so I figured I'd put two games up, or two sets of black green up, and I played these in the challenge today, or not the challenge, the PTQ. So I just wanted to run everybody through them. So here I am. I have a decent hand here. He Inquisitions me. He takes Spiral, which I'm totally happy about, because that means I'm not going to get bobbed. Um, Abrupt Decay is also like your best card in this matchup, because it kills Bob, and it kills Liliana. So I fetch here, I get a breeding pool. I don't want to show him that I drew the swamp, because I want him to live in constant fear of what's going on. And he probably kept a clunky removal hand, which often happens because black green decks can't really do that. So here, I'm just going to float a mana. I'm going to use this opportunity to sneak in a Snapcaster on the Spiral, because otherwise I might not draw my land, and this is pretty okay. I think Snap's going to die to push there, but I'm not too concerned about it. I think if we would have Liliana'd me, I'd be a little bit more worried. But I have this Decay, so I feel pretty insulated from any play that he has. And once again, these decks have a lot of removal. They have Pulse, they have Trophy, and they have Push in game 1. So they're not very set up to beat you. I draw the Flush here, which lets me eat a land, which is nice. My mana is a little awkward because I can't cast Cryptic, which is fine. So I play this Reclamation. I know it's going to get trophied. I'm okay with it getting trophied because it just ramps me. And I have the second Reclamation. So I don't need to just run away with the game with Reclamation in the black-green matchup. I just need to not get Value Engine. So he is on a Remunap Excavator deck. So here I'm going to go for Wilderness number 2. I don't think he's going to have a second trophy, and if he does, I still have the Decay for the Remunap, and he's just going to ramp me again. So we're going to flip blue, so we can Teachings, and then we're going to Mystical Teachings. So I did that because I wanted to keep Logic Knot up, in case he went for the trophy on my wreck there. So here he goes for a trophy on my wreck. I just let him have it. I just want to stop the follow-up play here, which is, as you can see, pretty relevant. If I would have defended my wreck, he would have thought seized his Blue Sun out of my hand. So now he has an Ooze, and I have a Blue Sun for 4. He eats my Teachings, which is fine. Eats my Snap, which is fine, and we're just gonna Blue Sun, and I think I end up losing this game. But you'll see from this board state, it feels like I shouldn't have lost this game. Being able to Blue Sun for 5 here. So we're gonna Blue Sun for 5. We have the push for the Ooze. We have a Remand. We have a Nexus. We're just gonna shock ourselves, see if the Nexus is going. Little scary against the Treetop, but that's still 2 hits. We draw a Snap, so now we think we're in great shape. We have a Remand, we have a Snap. It's all good. So here we're just going to Remand this Thoughtseize. We draw a Trophy, so we're just going to Trophy this Treetop. And then we're going to play Snap into probably some kind of cantrip here in my graveyard. So we don't have the Cryptic for the Cryptic Bounce trick. So we're just going to target a Spiral, a Thoughtseize resolve, and then Spiral after it resolves. So you'll see I'm in a really good spot here. If I ever draw Teachings, the game ends. If I ever draw Blue Sun, the game ends. I have a lot of live draws, and you'll see that I don't draw anything, I just draw lands. So it is unfortunate. So he rips Kalitas, which is nuts, on the empty board, even though I have double the lands of him. And I'm partnering a Teachings at any point. And then he attacks me. And then he plays an Ooze, and I opt into Pulse, but I can't take it because normally if he didn't have the Ooze there, I would have pulsed my Snap and just gone off on him and won the game. But because he drew the Ooze in that exact sequence of dude into Ooze, I can't do that. So now I just have this Cryptic, and I'm on the Cryptic tap your team plan and draw an out. Leave up Growth Spiral mana just in case. I hope he plays something. He does not play something. So I'm just going to remand my Reclamation here, pray a bit, and I don't draw anything and die. So that's a little bit unusual for me to get into the late game and not draw something there. You'll see I have 19 cards in my deck. And just snaps, cryptics, like a removal spell. The pulse when he doesn't have the ooze, all that stuff is just really going to let me win that game pretty cleanly, but I just break off and die. So game 2. Game 2, we keep the I Can't Lose to Bob hand, which I love. Abrupt Decay, once again, is the best card in this matchup because it kills both Bob and Liliana. And really anything in their deck for 2 mana. That's basically 2 mana Vindicate. So we're just going to hold this push up if he wants to Bob us. He casts Duress, he just takes Cryptic Command, which is definitely the right take. It's just Cryptic is just a clean 2 for 1. Anytime you get rid of that card, it's really good for him. So here I'm just going to Spiral. Maybe regret that, because now we can take Snap, but I think spiraling there is right. I just want to... I think it might be wrong, but that's what I did. Because it gives it more information, it's not super relevant. It's like a mystery card. So we just Teachings for Cryptic, and once again you'll see when the board is clear, and you just Teachings for Cryptic, you just set up a 2 for 1 that they can't really deal with. So now we're just gonna Spiral. We're just gonna tap our land. He's gonna try to field us off black. So we're gonna not get black for the first time. This maybe will incentivize him to use the other Field of Ruin. And we don't really care if he's wasting his mana to Field of Ruin my black choices. So we're just gonna snap, we're gonna snap and opt. Just want the snap in play to start beating down. Now we get the black source, so we always have the black source. And you'll see it now, I'm just gonna hide behind my 2 for 1s and my efficient 1 for 1. So if he plays a Fulminator, I'm just gonna 2 for 1 it. His mana can't really punish me by playing Liliana or a value dude with only 2 up. And we're just gonna hit him a bunch. He thought seizes, and once again, we're just on the 2 for 1 plan on literally anything he ever plays. He goes to play Excavator, and we're just gonna remand that. And we play this Delta so that we can push the Excavator when it comes down. If he plays Excavator, we let it resolve, he gets the field back. And we're just gonna crack this land to set up the push. Teachings for probably Blue Sun. And you'll see once we get ahead, we just go grab Blue Sun, and then the game basically ends. I get 5 cards here if I want them, and if I don't want them I can just go get Cryptics. So he plays a Tracker, I'm just going to go get Cryptic. Does leave my Blue Sun open to discard, but I'm not too worried. If Blue Sun does get discarded, you can often just Snapcaster it back. So he plays another Tracker, he goes for the Clue. He can get the Clue. We're totally okay with that. We're just gonna trophy here. We don't want to use this Field of Ruin because we really want to hold it for a Treetop or a Hissing Quagmire, because that basically draws us a card virtually. So he plays a Nissa Vital Force and gets back a Tracker, which scares me. So I'm going to use this opportunity to Blue Sun. I don't have my black up because I'm limited on black, so I can't do some Teachings loops and hold up my Blue Sun for a bigger Blue Sun later. So I'm just going to go for the Blue Sun now because I really just don't want to lose to this combination of stuff. So I have a Downfall, and he has the fetch land, which is why the sequence worries me, because it's virtually virtually 2 more cards with the fetch land. They're slow cards, but they're still cards. So we removal the Tracker, and then we just hit the Nissa, even though he's at 4, and then we just set up to chokehold him with cards. So we're just gonna keep cantripping through our deck, trying to find remands. removal spells. The consume and the make is fine. And we just hit him to 2. We try to hit him to 2. He goes after our lands, which is good for him because we're out of basics. I'm just going to use that floating mana to teachings here for snap. We're just going to snap. I don't know what I snap, but you'll see it doesn't really matter. He thought seizes me, he realizes he cannot beat my hand, and my double Snapcaster Tar Pit beats, and he concedes. So game 3. Game 3 I think is really interesting. I mulligan a awful hand, which I hate doing in this matchup because so often your hand just gets stripped down anyway, so you try to keep as many cards as you can. He plays a Scavenging Ooze, which is good. We have a Logic Knot for him. We also have a Spiral. The Ooze can't really outpace this Logic Knot in a reasonable time, so we're okay with it. He goes for the Thoughtseize. We just let him do it. It's basically countering Logic Knot anyway, so it doesn't matter. We're just going to grow Spiral. We draw Flush, which is good. Now we're set up to kill Ooze or Spiral, and if we want a Luck Sack, we might be able to do both. He starts eating our yard to contain future snaps and Logic Knots and stuff, so good move by him. He plays an Excavator. I Spiral. I'm looking for my land. I'm thinking about how to do this. The Ooze and Excavator are both valuable. But I actually want him to sacrifice the Excavator if he can, because I feel like a land every turn is going to be more valuable than this 2/2, which I'm going to eventually find a removal spell for. So I find the removal spell for it right away, which is great. So now we can just hold Cryptic up, and if he doesn't force me to Cryptic him, I can just decay this Ooze. So anytime he does something super relevant, we're just going to Cryptic him. And anytime he doesn't do something that I really care about, we're just going to decay him. And now that we drew this decay, or this remand, we're set up to basically double spell him and then untap and teachings him. And we just get whatever we want at this point. Normally snaps and cryptics are what we're looking for from here. How about removal spells that line up really well are also great. We're just going to decay. He's going to play Goyf. We're just going to remand the Goyf. We really want to find a land so we can just teachings for push. We just draw the Snapcaster and that's totally fine. Because it's Snap Decay and that's just a removal spell. All we need to do is buy time and kind of just prevent his value engines from coming online. All I'm worried about is value engines in this game. So there's an Excavator, which hits March Slots back. So this is a scary card because it just draws him a virtual land every turn. And one of the ways I think I lose this game is just the card advantage more. And even though they're just lands, they are still cards. And they do things in the deck like turn on Scavenging Ooze, thin the deck, and also I help Tracker get going. So I just tutor for a push here. He exiles my teachings, which is fine. I just don't really have another way to do that. And here, I think I'm out of removal spells for 2 CMC. So I think I need... Yeah, my Flush and my Decay and my Trophy are all exiled from the Ooze. So I need another removal spell. So I just go get the Downfall. Which is really good in this matchup because it can kill Liliana and all their dudes. And then we're just gonna kill this Ramunap before it can get a land activation going. So he just knocks out one of our lands, that's totally fine. Once again, we're just hiding behind this Cryptic Command, and we're doing the whole, if he has something relevant, we're gonna Cryptic it, and if he doesn't have something relevant, we're gonna go tutor Blue Sun. And we're just gonna keep it up for as long as possible. So the IOKs, and the coast is probably clear. He's probably holding trophies at this point, which happens to a lot of my black-green opponents. And we just teachings. He teachings for their teachings. He trophies our snap, which is what I expect. And now we're gonna have teachings and Cryptic up. So we can teachings for Blue Sun at this point. We can just let that resolve. just push it whenever we want. And then we tutor for pulse, pulse back a snap, snap back a pulse. Or I think we tutor for pulse, pulse the snap, and then snap the pulse, getting back the tar pit. And then we just cryptic a spell bomb there because it's a 2-for-1. And now we're just set up to slowly kill him. And yeah, he just dies from there. He doesn't really do anything relevant, and we're just going to draw more cards and more cards and more cards. His teachings once again. It's always threatening to just go get blue sun and run away with the game. So that's black green. I hope this was helpful. Yeah.